Chrome Developer Tool is the most underrated cybersecurity tool that I have ever seen. In this particular video, I will explain what is Chrome Developer Tool or what is Chrome Developer Options, and in coming videos, I will show you how you can use in your bug bounty process or web pen testing process. So without wasting time, let's get started. In addition, I am adding the timestamps below so if you feel that you know this particular part, then you can just skip and go ahead. But I'll say that watch complete video. It might be possible that you miss something and I will cover in this particular video. So without wasting time, let's get started. So first thing obviously we need is a Chrome browser, right? So when you open the Chrome browser and right click on the screen, you will see this option which is inspect, or sometimes it will show as an inspect element. So we can click on that, and whatever the window is opening right here, that's exactly we called as a Chrome Developer Tools or Chrome Developer Option, right? There is a one shortcut to open the Chrome Developer Option also. If you click on the let's say F12 button on your keyboard, it will open exactly same Chrome Developer Options right here. So yeah, this is all about the Chrome Developer Option. For some of you it might be possible that this particular option is opened on the right side of your screen. So let me show you how. Some of you might see the option like this one, but this is just a orientation of the option. You can click on these three buttons and you can say dock to the bottom and it will come to the bottom. It is much easier if you have bigger screen to look into the bottom. Okay, now initially this particular Chrome Developer Option is designed for the developer, as its name says, right? It is not designed for cybersecurity expert or hackers. So that's why we will see lot of useless options right here. So let me give you an example. On the first we have this particular icon which is toggler for the device. So when we click on this one, it will change the user agent, or let's say change the screen size to the phone devices, or here you can select the phones also. So that will change us from the desktop version of the website to the phone version of the website. It is not necessarily helpful in our case, but it will be super useful for the developer or designer. Similarly, we have the performance option also. In this particular option, we can calculate the performance of the website. Similarly, we have the lighthouse option to calculate the speed. We have the recorder to record the activity of the website. Then we have the performance insight option also. So these are the all options that are not necessarily useful in our case, right? So what is useful? First option is element, that we are going to use a lot, right? Basically, element will show you all of the source code of whatever we are able to see on the screen. So right now, as you can see, I am able to see this particular guest page. So it is showing me the page, or let's say source code of that particular page. Obviously, as you know, if we right click on the screen, we get one more option also. We get view source option. Right now it is not there. So let me go to the google.com, or let's go to the any website. Now as I said, elements option is showing the source code of the website, but when we click on right click on the screen, we get one more option which view page source. That will also show you exactly same stuff, right? But here it will be very messy, and in the elements it will be well organized in the particular structure with the syntax, right? So that's the difference between elements and checking the source code directly. Okay, in addition, there are some websites like React.js website. So let me show you something. Let me type here React.js and it will open the React.js website. So basically the website designed using React.js, they load or they render their content on the client side, not on the server side. So that's why when we click on this particular element option, we can see nice source code of the website. But when we click on the view source option, it will just show you 2-3 lines. It will not show you the full HTML of the website, because the content of the website is rendered when the request was came on this particular client side or our browser, right? So that's where this element tab is helpful, because when we try to check directly the source code, it will not show you. But when we try to go to the elements and inspect elements, then it will show you the whole source code. Okay, here in addition, if I scroll right here and right click on this particular button and inspect, it will show me code which is responsible for that particular button. So I can just hover over the code right here, and as you can see on this screen, it is showing me where the buttons are added which is created by this particular code. Okay, So in addition, on the right hand side, we get one more menu where for that particular element that we have selected, like in our case, I am selecting this particular button, we can see the style of that particular element. We can see compute, layout, event listener, DOM breakpoint, and whatnot, right? But all of these options are useless. Only one option is helpful in our case, which is event listener. It will show you events that are listening inside this particular code. Okay, so if I see in the div element, we have two elements more, the a element and there is a one more a link element, right? So all of these two elements are listening some kind of listening for some kind of event, right? Or at least there is a code written around them to listen some kind of event. So these events you can write here, you can see right here. Okay, so obviously when we click on the events, then it will show us the JavaScript code which is responsible for the event also, right? But as of now, I will not go into the deeper, right? I'll just try to cover the whole developer tool at once, and the when time comes that we need this particular element, then I will explain. Okay, so let's go to the console. So what exactly is the console? Console is the location where the website's error, website's log messages, website's info messages will be displayed. Basically, if there is anything that code wants to display other than the screen, then it will be displayed in the console. That includes the error, that includes the warnings, that includes the info messages and whatnot. As of now, this particular website React Dev, there are no errors on this particular page, so that's why the errors are not they are displayed right here. But if I go to the Google, I must see something errors right here. Okay, so can you see right here? It's saying violation, permission, policy, whatever it is, but the error is visible right here. Okay, not only that, it will show you error, but when you click on the error, it will show you whole object where the error was coming, right? And in addition, it will show you the JavaScript also from the where the error is coming. So on the right hand side, can you see right here? It is showing the JavaScript file also. And if I click on this, it will open the JavaScript file and it will show me the line from where the error is coming. Okay, so it is super useful in the debug phase. Okay, so as of now, let's go back to the console, and yeah, this is all about the console. Not only that, here in the console we can write our own JavaScript, like say I will say var whatever it is, I can write JavaScript right here, and once I click enter, it will execute that JavaScript in this particular browser. Okay, so let me show you one quick thing. So here I can write my own JavaScript, or I can just paste the code right here. But if I try to paste this code right here, it is showing me warning. So for remove this particular warning, we need to type allow pasting. So that will allow us to paste the JavaScript code like this and execute our own code. So let me paste my JavaScript code here to change the name from US to, sorry, the India to US, right? And hit enter. So can you see this particular India has changed to the US, right? So yeah, that's where this particular console option can be used, right? So this is just a one example. So yeah, that's all about the console. So let's go ahead and let's explore the sources option. But before exploring the sources option, let's go to the network, because it will be easy to understand once we understand the network option. Okay, so when I open any website, in my case I'm opening the google.com, right? So when we open any website, that website needs the JavaScript file, the CSS file, the images and other files to paint this beautiful website on our browser, right? And to get those files, browser makes request to the backend server of the Google, right? And that all requests can be seen right here. So let me show you how. In the network option, you can see this nice table. It is saying the name, status, type, initiator, size and time, right? So here we can see the requests that are being made from the browser to the backend, right? So if I click on the Google request right here, there is really first request, and if I click on the preview option right here, it will show me what was the response of this server when I told this server I need a Google's website, right? So yeah, this is how the response the server sent. Can you see right here the image is missing, but yes, the image is fetched separately. In addition, if we click on the response tab, it will show you the source code of that particular response, right? So when you click on the preview, it is rendering that code, whatever is coming from the backend. But when we click on the response, it will show you the raw response which is coming from the backend, right? So yeah, that's all about that particular option. Similarly, we can see the initiator also here in the right hand side window. So in the initiator will show you which part of the JavaScript is responsible for making that particular request to the backend. In this particular request case, obviously it is going to be the browser JavaScript, because that's what we are doing. We are just entering the google.com here, and we are loading the website. That means browser search bar is responsible for making that particular request. So whatever we will be seeing the initiator, it will be browser's search box code, right? As of now, ignore this particular part. I will explain in the future. Now we have headers option also. So whenever we send requests to the backend or any server, we send some meta to that particular request, right? So the meta can be, okay, so I'm sending requests from this particular client, and the request needs to go to the google.com server. What kind of content is accepted by the browser, what kind of content can be displayed on the browser, and that's it, right? So all of this can be mentioned in the headers. So basically here we can see the request header also and response header also. So if you scroll down, you will see the request header right here. So that means what are the headers was used while sending the request to the backend of the Google server. And in the response, we can see the headers which are from the response from the Google server. Okay. So yeah, that's all about this particular option. So let me quickly close this one. On the top menu, can you see right here, we have the all, fetch, doc, CSS. So what is this? Basically, the request, all of these requests has a types. So in the last tutorials, as we discussed, there are a lot of types of requests: the get request, the post request. Some requests are made for the fetching the data, some request is made for getting the image from the server, some requests will be made for the getting the style sheet file or CSS file, some requests will be for JavaScript file, right? So similarly, yeah, these are these all options. So when we click on the fetch XSR, it will show us the requests that are being made by browser or the website to get some data from the browser. Similarly, doc will show you the requests that are sent by the browser to get the initial document. So if I click on this particular request and if I click on the preview, can you see it is showing the Google page? That means it is the initial request. Doc requests are most of the time are initial requests that are being made. Similarly, on the CSS, it will show the CSS file. On the JS, it will filter the JSS file. On the font, it will do the same, and image media, whatever it is. But in the WCS, it will show you the WebSocket connection. Okay. Now, when the browser makes WebSocket connection to the backend, it is not like the GET connection or POST connection. It is a complete pipe from the browser to the server, so that they can communicate in the real time. So if there is a WebSocket used by the Google, it will be displayed right here. And on clicking on that, we can see the communication happening between our browser and Google server, right? Okay, let's go back to the first request right here, which is fetch and XHR option. So this fetch and XHR option is little bit interesting, because it is not only showing the tables of the request that is being made by to the backend, but it is also showing the which code is responsible or what is responsible for making that particular request. So obviously, if the request is getting sent to the backend, then someone is there which is triggering that request. Someone is there which is making send that request. So we can check that in initiator right here. So if I click on this particular initiator, it will show me the code, which is the line of code or the function which is exactly responsible for making that particular backend call or backend request, right? So yeah, this is the way we can check or reverse debug the code of the website to make sense or to find security vulnerabilities, whatever it is. I will show you in the future, right? So let's go back to the network section. Similarly, we can see type of the request also and status of the request also. So I'm not going to cover the status of the request, but status 200 means your request has successfully complete, and 200 that means server is okay with it. If there is a 404, that means the resources are not found on the server. That means whatever we are requesting, it is not there on the server. So that's why it will show you 404. Similarly, we have 402, we have 403, we have hell lot of statuses, right? So yeah, you can explore the list of the status by yourself. You can just say request status code list, and it will show you full list of the status codes, and it will also tell you like which code is used for which. Like, can you see, for code 100 to the 1999, all of these will be say used for the information responses. Similarly, 200 to 299, it will show you for the successful responses, and list goes on, right? So if I click right here, it will show you in the detail. 200 okay means okay, the server is sending, server got the request, server is sending response successfully. Similarly, 201 or 201 is means we are requesting to create something on the server, and server is created. So that means not exactly the pinpoint, but yeah, the status is used in that particular sense. You will understand as we go in the deeper. Okay, let's go back to our browser. Similarly, if you go to the JS file, the CSS file, all of these options have the initiator. So sometimes initiator is nothing like this one. If I click on this initiator, it will just show me the JavaScript from the index page. That means the HTML code of the website. Because most common way to load files is add those files in the HTML code, right? In the link tab, in the script tab, and yeah, that's all, right? So yeah, that's all about this one. So let's go back from the network panel to the sources panel, and let's explore what is a sources panel. So initially the sources panel will look like this. Okay, so let me show you what is a sources panel. So whatever the files, the data the website needs, that is being fetched or being get from the server to our browser, will be stored or can be seen in the sources panel. So let me give you example. First, you can see right here there is a w.google.com, then there is a apis.google.com, then there is a www.gstat.com. So why there is a three containers? So why there is a three drop down? Because browser will sort out all of the file requested by Google for us. So if the file is requested from the www.google.com, it will put all of those files inside this google.com. And if there is a file requested from the api.google.com, obviously the main domain is same, only the difference is it is using different subdomain. But if you put all of the file together, it will be mess. So that's why browser sorts for us. So let's click on the google.com. So when we click on the google.com, again we will find the folders according to file types. If there is any image, there is a JavaScript or normal file, right? So yeah, similarly we will see the tree diagram. So let's click on this particular. So let me quickly click on the apis.google.com, and inside this will be again there will be folder according to files, but it really depends on how the files are stored or managed on the backend side. So let's click on this particular folder. Let's expand, and it will show, on clicking on that particular file, it will show me content of the file. So if it is JavaScript file, it will show me the JavaScript. If it is CSS file, it will show me the CSS, right? So this is how you can check the website files in the sources panel. Okay, so yeah, that's all about the sources panel. Whatever is on the right hand side of this particular sources panel, I will explain it later, because if I try to explain right now, it will be over the head. Let's go to the performance and memory. So performance, memory, the lighthouse, the recorder, the performance light inside, all of these options are designed for the developer. So it is not helpful in our case. So in our case, the application menu is helpful, the security menu is helpful. Okay, so we will just keep this performance, memory, and we will just move ahead the applications, right? So what exactly is the application, right? So in the applications menu, you will find the list of the options that website can use from the browser. Okay, let me show you something. So in the applications, we have the cookies, right? So this is the storage, one type of storage, the cookie storage that website can use from the browser, because this is the browser functions. that use can be used from the website, right? So that's all about the application. Application will show you all of this stuff that website can use from the browser. So what can be used? So we have bifurcation right here, which is application, the storage, the background services. So let's go from the easiest one, the storage. The storage will show you offerings of the browser to store the data from the website. So when we know already, when we click on the cookie, we can see cookie storage right here. There is a nice table showing the cookie name, cookie value, domain path, expiry of the cookie, and all of the data which is necessarily related to the cookies. So this is some kind of storage. The website is storing cookie on the browser. Similarly, website can store other data also, like objects. In that case, we can use the, or website can use the local storage, like this one. If website wants to store the strings which are literally kind of private strings or unique to the user, or it has little bit more importance, then you use the session storage, because it is just the same as the cookie storage, but it is kind of you can say specialized storage option, right? Similarly, we have IndexedDB also. When the DB word comes, don't confuse with the database. Obviously, it is a database, index database, but it is not like the SQL database or PostgreSQL database. It's a browser-based simple database, like SQLite or something, right? So yeah, that's all about the IndexedDB. Similarly, we have other type of the storages also. You can go ahead, search the storage name on the Google and check one by one what those are. Then we have the background service tab right here. So what is a background service? So if I try to go ahead and click on these particular services, then it will be a little bit confusing. So let me give you one example. So many of you know that if we open the Gmail right here, so if we receive the email, it will show me a small pop-up on the right hand screen right here. Okay, so how my browser knows that someone is sending email to me? Because the browser is using push notification service from the the website is using push notification service from my browser, right? So in the services tab, can you see right here there is a notification service right here, right? Similarly, we have other type of the services also for clearing the cache, storing the cache, making asynchronous call. There is a one more example. Imagine you are opening your WhatsApp on the browser. In that case, if someone is sending the message will go to your phone also, but it will come to the browser also. How you are able to receive that message? Obviously, some kind of service is running on the browser which is checking for those messages, or which is checking for the status. So obviously there are a lot of services available, and this is not right time to explain, because I feel if we try to work on that and in the working process, if I explain something, that will make more sense. If I explain right now, it will go over the head. Okay, so let's skip this particular application tab and let's go ahead to the security tab. Now, the security tab is saying the name security, but it is not super useful. It will just show you alert and warnings about the security. Like if I click on this three gear icon right here, can you see the connection is secure, right? What if the SSL certificate being used to make this connection is not valid? Then it will show me warning right here in the security tab, right? So yeah, that's pretty much all the security tab do. It will just show you the warnings about the securities, and whatever it is about the security in this particular page, it will be showed in this particular security tab, especially warnings and errors. Okay, so yeah, that's all about the Chrome developer tools, right? I know this is a little bit long, this is a little bit confusing for someone. For someone, this is too much familiar because they are using on the daily basis. But yeah, I have to cover because I'm covering these options topics by keeping in mind that the beginner also can follow my guides and learn about it, right? So yeah, that's all about this particular video, and in the next video we will see how we can use these tools to basically while doing the bug bounty, or while finding the bugs, while inspecting the website, while reverse engineering something in the website, right? So yeah, that's all for this one. See you in the next.